You ever see someone sitting in the middle of a crowded place, but looking like they don't belong anywhere? That was me. Name's Daniel Cross. A few years ago, people used to line up just to shake my hand, snap a photo, beg for a meeting. I was the tech guy, the wonder boy of Los Angeles, the man investors called a genius. But that night, in the airport terminal, rain slamming against the glass, thunder rolling so hard it made my chest tighten. I was invisible. Just another broken man in a wheelchair. The thing about losing almost everything is, it doesn't happen all at once. It's little pieces, peeling off day by day. First, my company turned on me, said I couldn't lead anymore after the accident. Then my so-called friends stopped calling, my assistant quit. Family, they vanished quicker than a stock crash. And the world, man, the world is merciless. It doesn't care how many zeros you got in your bank account when you're stuck staring at flight delays and pretending your back doesn't hurt like hell. I kept my eyes down because every time the storm cracked, I saw glass again. The windshield exploding, headlights swerving, that drunk kid behind the wheel grinning right before my spine snapped. Doctors called it luck that I lived. I call it a sentence. Independence gone, dignity shredded on some operating table. 3 hours. That's how long I sat at gate 22 watching people rush by like I was part of the furniture. And then through all that gray, I heard it. A laugh. Bright, sharp, like somebody opened a window inside my chest. I looked up. There she was. A little girl, maybe 7, twirling in pink sneakers near the window while her mom, hair tied back, hospital badge still clipped to her jacket, tried to catch her with this tired but patient smile. That smile hit me harder than the thunder did. And when the girl tugged her mom's sleeve and pointed at me, my stomach sank. Great. Here comes the pity parade. But no. Her mom walked straight up, looked me dead in the eye, not through me, not around me, at me, and said, "Excuse me, sir. You okay? You look like you could use some company." I froze. Do you know how rare it is for someone to ask that and actually mean it? My throat went dry. I croaked out, "Just waiting for my flight." The girl piped up, "You look sad. Are you scared of the storm?" That one line nearly cracked me open. She didn't see some failed billionaire or pitiful cripple. She just saw a man who looked scared. And in that moment, I didn't feel invisible. We sat together. Her name was Hannah. Her mom, Leah. They were heading to Portland to see Leah's sister who just had a baby. Me? I didn't want to say Daniel Cross once the headline Wonder Boy. So I just said, "Daniel, just Daniel." Leah nodded like that was enough. We went to the cafe. She insisted on paying for hot chocolate, even though I could have bought the whole airport. She counted out coins like it was gold, pushed one cup in front of me and said, "Nobody should sit in a storm without something warm to hold. Not on my watch." My chest burned, not from pity, but from respect. She told me she worked double shifts at the hospital. Single mom. Her husband had died in a scaffolding collapse, just a freak accident. She said it with this matter-of-fact strength that made my excuses feel pathetic. And little Hannah, she showed me her coloring book, told me about science club. Her eyes lit up when she said she wanted to be a doctor one day, to help people in chairs like me. But then Leah admitted she couldn't afford the $30 fee that month. $30. I'd blown more than that tipping a bartender. Then the announcement came. Flight canceled. Phones came out. Everyone calling hotels, scrambling. I saw Leah's face twist with panic. Where were they going to sleep? And I just blurted it out. "Look, I've got a house. Too many empty rooms. No strings. Just stay the night. Both of you." Leah stared at me, weighing every possibility, every risk. Hannah whispered, "Like a sleepover." And after a long pause, Leah finally nodded when we rolled into my place. Marble floors, chandelier I never bothered to notice. Leah's face said it all. This wasn't her world. She looked at me and asked, "Why us? Out of everyone, why help us?" And I told her the truth. "Because you made me feel like a person again." Later that night, I found her in the kitchen, head in her hands, tears sliding down into her tea. She muttered, "I work so hard, but it's never enough. Hannah missed science club because I couldn't spare $30. You must think I'm pathetic." I shook my head. "No, you're the bravest person I've ever met. Let me help." "Not as charity. Let me use what I've wasted to fuel what matters." She wiped her eyes, whispering, "It's hard to accept help." I leaned closer. "Then maybe we both need to learn how." The next days changed everything. Leah took over, like she'd lived there all along, helping me with transfers, reminding me to take my meds, even humming while she cooked. Hannah brought life to rooms that had been dead for years. Her drawings taped on my fridge, her laughter bouncing off the walls. Even my stone-faced housekeeper, Mrs. Riley, cracked a smile when Hannah hugged her leg. One afternoon, I was with my therapist, stuck on a new transfer. My hands shook. "What if I fall?" I whispered. Leah knelt right there, eye to eye. "So what? Hannah falls all the time. She gets back up. That's life." Hannah clapped, chanting, "Come on, Mr. Daniel." And somehow, with them watching, I did it. I made the move. When Hannah threw her arms around me, it felt like scaling Everest. Evenings turned into dinners, dinners into long talks under string lights I'd never bothered to switch on. Leah teased my cooking. I teased her back. We argued over pancakes, laughed until my sides hurt. And one night in the garden, she asked, "You ever think you'd get a second shot at happiness?" I took her hand, heart pounding like a teenager. "Not until you two showed up." And then I kissed her. Slow, gentle, like maybe time had finally given me mercy. Of course, Hannah spotted us through the window, her grin so wide it nearly split her face. "I think she approves," Leah laughed. 3 months later, I dropped to one knee, not just for Leah, for Hannah too. "Will you both be my family?" Their yeses were the sweetest sound I'd ever heard. We had a tiny wedding in the garden, Hannah scattering rose petals like it was the biggest party in the world. That same day, I signed the papers, adopted her, because she'd been my daughter in my heart long before. Now our house is noisy, messy, alive. Leah still clips coupons, but she does it while Hannah plans her next science fair project at the same table. I'm not the lonely billionaire in a chair anymore. I'm a husband, a dad, a man who got a second chance. But here's the question I can't shake. Do we ever really leave the past behind? Or is it the scars, the broken pieces, that make us worth loving in the first place? That's where I want to hear from you. Have you ever judged someone too quickly, only to realize you were dead wrong? Or maybe you've been the one written off, underestimated, treated like you didn't matter. What happened when you proved them wrong? Drop your story in the comments. I'll be reading them because maybe the storm you're stuck in right now is the one that leads you to your second chance.